Tony, there's a lot of times that I don't particularly enjoy what I have to do, my job, and there are days that I love it, and this is one of those days where I love my job. And I do have an important announcement to make, and I know it's a busy weekend, it's a holiday weekend. A lot of you have already made plans to be at the Georgia Dome this coming Monday night, July 6th. By last count, there were some like 35,000 tickets sold. There are some still available. But if you're not in the proximity of Atlanta, Georgia, I would suggest that you get on the phone, call your neighbors, call your friends, and if there was ever a Nitro that you didn't miss, I would suggest that you don't miss this coming Monday night, because it is now official. Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the WCW champion, is contractually obligated to be in the Georgia Dome this coming Monday night for Nitro to defend the WCW Heavyweight title belt against what I feel is the #1 contender, Goldberg!
Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
How's it going, everybody? This is the wild child, Connor Hopkins, the handsome coyote in those damn coyotes. And you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What is up, people? Yes, we are alive after an action-packed weekend of wrestling. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 61 of the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best-kept secret in all of wrestling podcasts. Thank you, T.W. Ward, as usual, for that beautiful intro, the voice of Memphis wrestling. And today, boys, we have ourselves, well, we got us a little... We got us a guest here today, man. So got to break out a little funker music for him. Joining us today, none other than our buddy. We met this guy at St. Louis Anarchy, and next thing you know, we've been hanging out. He went to the Royal Rumble with us, so it was only inevitable that we had to bring him onto the pod. Welcome for the first time, Dylan. What is up, our brother, man?
What's up, guys? Thank you so much. I've peaked. I've made it to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Yeah. You need higher peaks, my friend.
And you're looking better than ever in that Sit Down Marks t-shirt that somebody might have gave you here. I'm not saying any names but mine, but you're looking better than ever, brother. Welcome to the podcast officially. Good to have you, man. Good to have you,
yeah,
man.
Thanks again.
Welcome,
Dylan. Welcome. It's glad, we met in person, and it's glad to see you over here on the pod with us virtually. So glad to have you here.
Welcome.
I'm excited. Excited. Let's talk some wrestling.
Welcome.
All right, let's do it. Let me thank our sponsors. First of all, Coastland Apparel. Go to coastlandapparel.com and use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. And also our other sponsor over on Facebook, that is Jet Designs. That's JET Designs. He is a custom car diecast maker. He is a big friend of the pod. So if you need a custom diecast for the racing geek in your family, this is the way to do it. Get him a custom diecast made, and Jet Designs is the guy to do it for you. So go on over there to Jet Designs on Facebook and check them out for sure. Also, we want to thank everybody listening. Yeah, everybody listening right now on all of those podcast platforms out there, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all those other ones that I botch one of the names of every week, I've noticed. I just said iRart. So anyway.
iRart.
Yeah, the old iShart Radio.
That's right. So the one I cannot botch is SportzWire Online Radio Fridays. Right before the Thomas Bryce show, we get to lead him in each and every week. And he plays
number one.
The number one. That's right. Global Sports Show. It didn't sound nothing like him, but that was just a little radio guy voice there. So yeah, check us out on there throughout the week, but mainly on Fridays right before his show. But right now, man, we want to give you a shout out for everybody. Please keep going and giving us those reviews. If you listen to the pod, we really do appreciate it. It goes a long way. So leave us a review on that platform that you listen from, and we really do appreciate it. So, all right, it is that time of the day. Let's find out what the old jukebox has for us from the pop of the pod. Man, Decay. They've been around. They've been around for a long time, right?
I love that song. Keep going.
It is one.
Turn it back up. I don't want to listen to you fools.
Song. Yeah. I like that a lot. I like their whole entrance anyway. I've always liked their entrance.
Yeah, and they're one of those too. This kind of factions that's they've out. They're still around. So I say, I mean.
Yeah, it's funny seeing years back when it was like Abyss and Crazy Steve, and watching this past week. Yeah, and Rosemary and this past week, Crazy Steve came out with Black Taurus.
Yes. Which I keep calling Black Taurus.
A badass entrance still.
Yes. Yeah, definitely is. And they stood the test of time of all the ups and downs of Impact, TNA, you know what I'm saying? And here they are still thriving. So it's awesome to see that. So, hey, Jay, you got some wrestling history for us, sir.
I do believe some things happened today in wrestling history. That is, what's today? 27th of April, 2020. It doesn't matter what the year is because it's history. On this day in 1957. That's right, 1957. Insert Dirty Bird's old joke here. Again, I didn't come up with one. The first known women's tag team match took place in St. Louis, Missouri, as June Byers and Chyna Mira were victorious over Bonnie Watson and Penny Banner. That's
Dylan country. I bet his grandparents or somebody might have went to that match.
Maybe Dylan's grandma is Penny Banner. But
Dylan?
you never
know. Explain yourself here?
Never know. I
Maybe.
wish. I wish I could. Was a historic crushing fan.
I also am going to skip forward to 1981 when Tommy Rich won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Augusta, Georgia, with a win over Harley Race. I just wanted to mention Harley Race for reasons.
Why wouldn't you want to mention him?
I was never the biggest Harley Race fan.
No?
I don't know.
You weren't old enough.
Skipping forward to 1999, this is the debut of SmackDown. SmackDown had its debut today.
Smacking it down, baby.
The old Smackity Down in New Haven, Connecticut. What did it feature?
The Rock's show.
It's terrible. What was the main event? Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock defeated Undertaker and Triple H. That is a main event that you want to have on your first ever SmackDown.
Yeah, all the names.
Shane McMahon was on the show. Who gives a shit? Because I hate Shane McMahon.
I would have. I'm a Shane O'Mac person, yeah.
You are incorrect, sir. We're going to skip all the way to 2018. I had to mention it. This is 4 years ago, the greatest Royal Rumble, when a lot of things happen. Most notably, Titus O'Neil sliding like a genius underneath the ring, and Corey Graves absolutely losing his shit.
Yes.
Like he could not contain it.
I think the best part of that is like once they realize, because he is a tall dude and there are bars down there, so thankfully he didn't hit none of them. But then once they realized he's okay, they just kept laughing and replaying it over and over.
Which is the right thing to do. I absolutely would have done that as well.
Yeah.
So this is weird. I was looking at this card, and I'm just going to name some of the. This is only 4 years ago. So we have John Cena, who's not currently in the company, defeating Triple H, who is currently retired. We have Cedric Alexander defeating Kalisto, who is no longer with the company. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, neither with the company, against The Bar. Cesaro is gone. Jeff Hardy defeated Jinder Mahal. Jeff Hardy gone. The Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, against the Usos. Harper and Rowan, both gone.
I forgot about the Bludgeon Brothers, like when they did that.
Yeah, with their big hammers and shit.
Yeah.
Then we have Seth Rollins in an Intercontinental Championship ladder match against Samoa Joe, who was gone. Finn Balor and The Miz. And then The Undertaker defeated Rusev, who was gone, in a cage match. And then Braun Strowman won the 50-man greatest Royal Rumble match. Braun Strowman is gone. Last eliminating Big Cass, who is gone. That is 80% of that card gone. Not on the roster anymore. And it's only 4 years. 4 years ago. Michael.
It doesn't seem that long.
No, it doesn't. But that was 4 years ago. And yeah, I didn't even go into how many people from the actual greatest Royal Rumble would be gone as well. I'm assuming because there were 50. I'm assuming there was probably 30.
Probably about 48 of them.
Yeah, just gone. Everyone except. I got nothing. Yeah, no, they're all gone. I believe. What else do I have? Sad one. I don't know why I always end on the sad ones. In 2015, Vern Gagne passed away at age 89. He died of Alzheimer's, and it was very sad. He died in Bloomington, Minnesota. That's what I have for history.
All right, so Primo, wrestling in the headlines. First of all, you got to be checking us out right now on the YouTube Sit Down Marks channel. Primo is dressed up like Hollywood Hogan this week for our Dropkick Discussion. So I guess we need to call him Primo Wood or Holly Mo.
Hollymo. Hokomo sounds like a Beach Boys song.
But in all honesty, he looks more like independent wrestler Gringo Loco from the Chicago wrestling scene, which is just awesome. So looking forward to that. So Primo, man, what you got for the headlines?
Nothing like a good news giggle.
Well, let's get straight to them news giggles, shall we? On April 27th, that's today for all you marks out there, various sources have reported that former Impact Wrestling Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, The Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics, Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, have confirmed today that they will indefinitely be stepping away from in-ring action.
Wait, you just went stepping away. I'm sorry, I meant stepping away. It's the same thing. You got it. You nailed it.
And rumor is Impact granted them their release, I guess.
Right.
They let them go.
I mean, they put them on the pre-show this past Saturday. So
why? I love the Inspiration. Well, I love half the Inspiration.
On May 4th.
I like the other half.
May the 4th be with you. There will be a special sneak peek for all you gamers out there. Special sneak peek of the AEW video game, and it will begin at 11 Eastern Standard Time on the AEW Games Twitch channel.
You guys want to get this?
Hell yeah.
You a gamer? You a gamer?
I probably will get this one. I haven't got the last couple WWE games, but I played a lot growing up, and an AEW game could be really interesting depending on how far you go with.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of WWE 2K22, and I just imported a lot of AEW characters in there, so same thing.
Did they skip 21? Like, was there no...
Yes,
because of how bad 20 was?
Exactly. 20 was so bad, and
love to see
COVID happened, so they took that year off to make 22 as awesome as it is, because I won't lie, 22 is the best one they've come out with in a while.
I've seen a lot of reviews, and it looks cool. It looks like they really put some time into this one and made a really good game.
I've seen a lot of videos of people playing that online, and it seems like every video I watch is people importing AEW stuff into the WWE 2K22. So
what's cool is you can create an arena and everything. So you can completely create an AEW game inside of that game.
I feel like that's why I feel like the AEW game is going to do very well, because people are already like, I'm just going to turn this entire thing into AEW anyways.
Yeah, it'll depend on the mechanics.
Yeah, most of what I've seen has all been.
So, via Twitter, a source from WWE mentioned that WWE intends to run more stadium shows moving forward in 2023. Just for a reference, 2022 has had 8 stadium events this year in some scheduled, and WWE is looking forward to making this the new norm.
What stadiums? I like that. I love stadium shows. They're fun. Outdoors, fuck yeah.
Something else exciting here, talking about a big crowd. Here's a big crowd for Impact Wrestling. Impact's Slammiversary will be held at Nashville Fairgrounds with over 700 floor seats. That's not even including general admission.
Slammiversary?
Yes. Oh. Impact's Slammiversary.
Right.
Slamovich? Masha Slamovich?
She'll probably be there.
Masha Slamovich-aversary?
Masha-versary slam sandwich?
Maybe she'll get some revenge on that bear.
Don't you talk about the bear. I don't want to talk about the bear.
Have you seen Masha Slamovich live, Dylan? You probably have, huh?
Not yet. She is booked for Anarchy Go Invitation. I think that's time, and I'm very excited for that. I've been asking for her in Anarchy for a while now. I'm very excited for that.
I want to be at that show because I love me some Slapa Vanovich.
Oh, some sloppy Slamovich?
Slapa. Masha.
Oh man, let me.
It's a lot for the mouth. It's a lot for the mouth.
It's really not though. It's dumb. Slapa Slamovich.
You just got banged.
All right, so you're ready for the final announcement of April 27th, 2022.
Let's do it.
All right, all you marks out there, go ahead and have yourself a seat. That is the name of the show. Sit down, marks. One final announcement from you boys. As promised, we're gonna be coming to other wrestling promotions across the USA, and today we are happy to announce that on Saturday, May 28th, we will be sponsoring a show in the state of Missouri. That's right, Dylan. We are coming to CCW Cape Championship Wrestling on May 28th for a huge night of wrestling. We will be there meeting all the cool CCW fans and giving away the free Marks merch, just like we always do. Mark your calendar and be at CCW in Cape Girardeau, Missouri to meet you boys.
Awesome.
How about that, huh? Fresh off the press there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Down today.
That's awesome.
Where is it? In Girard?
Did I just Don't make me say it again.
Tell him,
Dylan.
Yeah.
We just call it Cape. It's Cape Girardeau, I believe is how you say it.
Cape Girardeau.
Yeah, everybody around here just calls it Cape. Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you guys. I'll definitely be seeing you there.
Yeah, well, 100%. We thought we'd surprise you with that since it is, I think that is your home promotion, correct? Or one
that is closest one to me, yes.
Yeah, awesome. Good deal, man. Yeah, so excited to go down there, man. May the 28th. I'm definitely going. AJ to be determined. Primo
maybe
to be
not.
Determined, I guess, too. So looking forward to it, man. And making our way down to Missouri for the first time here for CCW. So excited and looking for a really big show that weekend. So thank you once again to CCW. I'm looking forward to meeting Chris Slammer. I follow him on I believe it's Instagram, but he's a good follow, man. He's good stuff. He's out there banging out those energy drinks and slinging UPS packages, and then he's going kicking ass on the weekend. So it's awesome, man. So looking forward to that. So good stuff.
Hell yes, that's awesome.
All right, it's time for the fans shout out. You can DM us on Twitter at SitDownMarks and let us know when and where you listen to the podcast, and we will shout you out on the pod. Now, let me tell you, man, I had one of the most amazing wrestling weekends of my life last weekend. We met a ton of great people. It was super awesome. Like I said, me and AJ are going to be talking about that shortly. We made our in-ring debut, but I want to shout out two of the, coolest people that we met there and, amongst all the cool people. But these two we want to give a shout out to because I've seen these girls at plenty of wrestling shows time and time again. And I'd seen tons of top rope baking cookies at shows, on the internet, social media, all that kind of stuff. And I never knew that they were the same girls. Tori and Becky, me and AJ had the pleasure of meeting these girls this weekend, and they are always. If you've seen these wrestling cookies, you know what I'm talking about. They make them for Hartenbauer. They made a bunch for Zowa Live last weekend. So these girls are the best at what they do. Tori is a hustler, and they are straight gangster wrestling addicts like us, and and they're totally into it. Like, they go to the indie shows like we do. Like I said, I've seen these girls at plenty of shows. AJ, we started talking to them because I'm like, hey, I see you girls everywhere, like all the time. So we finally got to talk to them, and it was really cool to see that they were the ones that's been making these awesome cookies for and it was awesome. And I think they put out today that they had made Tori had made cookies for Mick Foley himself, and a couple years ago, and so they are super legit, super cool people. If you've been to an indie show, you've probably seen them sitting ringside. So want to give a shout out to these two. Some of the absolute coolest people live in Dixon, and we were a pleasure to meet all of those people there, and also people that come to the shows too. So that was super awesome. So before we get to talking about this show, let's see what AJ has in store for us this week.
AJ's clip about honeycomb cereal of the week.
Oh man, I have some expensive equipment, and they almost got soda sprayed. It was so close. Oh yeah, behind the curtain type stuff. I don't hear a lot of this stuff pre-pod, so I don't know what's coming a lot of times. So, all right, let's hear it, AJ.
That's so specific.
God, it was so specific.
Hey, let me hit that one more time for you.
AJ's clip about honeycomb cereal of the week.
Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about it.
I'll be back. I need to go throw up.
So, as the intro suggested.
All right, let's hear it. Take two.
In the early 80s, when honeycomb cereal was a thing, it's still a thing, but it was a thing back then as well. Andre the Giant was in a honeycomb cereal commercial where he at first terrifies a bunch of little children about how he wants to steal their honeycombs because of its big honey taste. And just imagine Andre the Giant. Well, you'll hear it in a second. But he's like, honeycomb has the big honey taste. I can't do the Andre the Giant accent because it's like a weird French kind of thing.
It's a hard one.
Honeycomb, big honey taste. Actually, that was pretty good. And then he ends up enjoying a nice bowl of cereal while the kids sing about honeycombs. It's. I would have bought some honeycombs back then.
It was really sweet back in the day.
I still love honeycombs.
Yeah,
I still buy them at least once a month.
Nice.
B5O.
Come on, you guys. It's only a little. A hungry giant.
Hungry for a big honey taste.
Big taste. Honeycomb. Big taste. Honeycomb big. Yeah.
It's not small.
No. Honeycomb's got a big honey taste.
Oh my God.
I'm going to buy 10 boxes of honeycomb right now.
Yeah, I love that.
Big.
If you actually see the commercial, you can go check it out on YouTube. It's just Andre is just like dancing by this tree house with all these little kids.
Big, not small.
It's amazing, and he has like his little, like, you know how Andre has like those tiny little teeth. Like, I don't know why. How does he eat honeycombs? Like, big honey taste.
He can eat children with those teeth, dude. He's so big. Nothing anybody should.
Honeycomb cereal.
I love the jingle. Yeah.
It's not small. No.
Big, not small.
I want to be the director of that commercial with Andre in the studio, like directing Andre to be like, all right, now you got to sing.
Andre's like, shut up, I'll do what I want.
Yes. Like he wasn't even supposed to be there. He's like, I want to talk about honeycomb. So that's why that whole thing came about. So that's what everyone go watch it. It's fun. You'll want honeycombs afterwards.
Very nice, AJ. Love what you're doing with your
How much honeycomb do you think Andre could eat?
All of them.
Oh, at least
yeah,
like 5 boxes.
I would say a box to our bowl is probably a good match for you, right?
Like he would need,
because
like,
they're
you know,
big. They're big.
Oh, he gets the family size.
Yeah.
And like, you know how we use like cereal bowls? He would need like a bucket.
Or is he getting the Malto Meal big 5-pound bag?
Yeah, and he just dumps water in it. And the Malto Meal. Those are called honeybee homes.
They're like honeycomb.
Tell you what, I'll never eat cereal out of a bag again in my life. Now, every cereal is in a bag. Technically, it's just surrounded by a box, right? Most of them.
Yes,
but like, you know, growing up, your mom always bought you that 5-pound bag of cereal, and that stuff lasted for months and was as bland as like leather.
Sugar. Yeah,
my mom went through this phase of about like 4 or 5 years where she only bought Fruit Loops.
Really?
She kept buying it, and one day we brought it up to her. She's like, "Oh, I thought you liked those." And we're like, "We do, but you know, we'd like some variety, damn it."
Yeah,
I like the bag cereals because of their names, like the you know, there's
Dino Bites.
Their version, the fruity Dino Bites and the Choco Puffers,
the Multios, like the Cheerios,
like instead of Captain Crunch.
I mean, let's be honest. The only time you went with your mom to the grocery store is just to pick out cereal. You didn't want to go no other, like,
right?
Who wants to go to the grocery store? Like, otherwise, then just, you know, as a kid.
The only time it's fun is in the breakfast aisle.
Yeah. All right, good stuff here. Welcome to the show. I'm the Dirty Bird, and that's Primo and AJ, of course, and we got Dylan here with us today. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. We got some Impact Rebellion results, the weekly recap, reactions to all the happenings in wrestling. Also, we're going to talk about that big Zowa show from last weekend. We're going to play Square Circle Questions with Dylan, and he's going to tell us all about his indie wrestling blog. And finally, the last Dropkick discussion of the month for WCW famous matches was Goldberg versus Hogan. We reviewed this one from Nitro in Atlanta, July the 6th, 1998. Now, you probably ask yourself, why? Well, I was in the house that night sitting at the very top of the Georgia Dome. So I want to talk about some things that I remember seeing from that night and that kind of stuff. So we're going to be covering that one, as the match wasn't very long itself. So we got a lot to talk about here. So Primo, kick us off, my brother.
Okay.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, let's get to this recap. But first of all, let's get to what happened this weekend with the Indie Roundup. And we're going to talk about a few shows that are coming up. All right, so this past Saturday night, you heard us talk about it. We sponsored the 5-year anniversary of Zowa Live. Me and AJ was involved in the show. The most nervous we have. Now, look, we've been putting together wrestling rings and doing stuff to set up shows. Now we are back because we want to say that we held wrestlers to even more of a higher standard now, because we were put in a wrestler's position, I guess, for the night, and all the spots that they had to remember. And, man, just shout out. Like, I have even more respect for wrestlers out there after what we did over the weekend. We set up a match, basically, and I want you guys to go check it out. It's on IWTV. It was Zowa Live's 5-year anniversary. It just released, I believe, a couple days ago. And me and AJ was promoting the pod at the show, and we were rudely interrupted by the dojo.
Rude.
Yeah, which consists of Jack Spade and the High Chief of Beef himself. So he was there, and he so they come out, cut us off rudely, and basically he put his hands on me.
He did.
The man put his hands on me.
Bad move, Chief.
Pushed you.
And the Dixon faithful didn't like it. He pushed me into a corner. And, we got a lot of friends in Zowa. We've had a lot of guys on this pod that are from Zowa. And, and lo and behold, our friends, Judd the janitor and Mr. Havens, comes out to make the save, make sure, I don't get my butt kicked. I was going for the $1 million dream, and then AJ held me back, so I was about to put it on him, so he would have been out in like seconds if I got to him.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
You're lucky or he's lucky that all 150 pounds of me was able to hold back.
Right. Well, so they come out, made the save, and me and AJ was watching the match, and hey, these guys tried to cheat. The guys tried to cheat, man. They try to use a foreign object. So who am I to let this happen? Right. So, there was, I don't want to spoil it, but, let's just say I had to get involved to make sure something didn't get used in the match. So go check it out on IWTV. We'll talk about it again later, but man, it was awesome. Mr. Havens was able to get the win, and Judd the janitor as well. Just a super spectacular night. Damian Deschain jumped off a balcony high in the Ross Brooks studio right next to our banner, and that was nuts. AJ, so we had spots to remember. We went over them probably 50 times before the match. But afterwards, like I said, we had so much respect for what wrestlers do. My dad dabbled in wrestling. We talked about over the weekend a little bit, so he kind of told me that, it's of that kind of psychology of it. Let's just be honest. Wrestlers have to have, pretty good memories because, a lot of these spots that they talk about, they gotta get them done. You know what I mean? So, and we didn't want to miss ours because we didn't want to goof it up. Right. So it came out very well. We were super excited and awesome. And after that, me and AJ went running in the streets of Dixon like little children. And, but
that's not an exaggeration.
That actually happened. It did. I did some sort of Russian jump. I don't know, but I think my knee was sore the next day because of that particular jump. But it was just a fun night, man. I was super excited. Thank you once again to Zowa and everybody out there for letting us be involved. But I'm going to say one thing. The chief of beef, he said he's not happy with us, so I don't think this is over. Nope. I don't like it when a man puts his hands on me. So, I'm the master of the $1 million dream. Y'all don't know that, but I am. So next time I might have to get involved with this. So we'll just have to see. But AJ, man, all jokes aside, dude, what a blast that was.
Unbelievable.
I was thanking Zeke for letting us be involved. Like, how cool was this? We put our brand new 8-foot by 8-foot banner up there. That's freaking huge. It was great, man. Like one of the most special nights of wrestling I've ever been a part of. Definitely, since we've been doing this pod for sure, man. It was awesome.
That was an exaggeration, by the way. Like, not at all. We really did go outside and we're like hopping through the streets like children after the whole thing was done. It was unbelievable. Like, and again,
I feel like that's the proper response.
Yes,
there was a random couple out there smoking, so they saw it. I don't know if anybody else did. And some guy stopped and goes, "What's going on in there?" And we're like, "Wrestling!" Yes,
it was so awesome. One thing that I did learn that I was not expecting, I should have known, is how slippery wrestlers get. They're like oily seals when you're trying to like hold on to them.
Yep,
it's amazing.
So the Cheap of Beef tried to break up the pin at the end, and AJ made sure that did not happen.
No, I was like, nope. But no, it was unbelievable. First of all, like that banner or that balcony was so high up. I went up there, and I wouldn't jump off that thing. Holy shit! And like just to have, I mean, I get that it's on a smaller scale, but just to have that faith in and that trust in the person you're working with as well as yourself to be able to like jump off that onto the person you're fighting against, it's amazing. Like, and you don't really think about it, that kind of thing, until you're up there and you're like, oh shit, that's really fucking high.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It was an amazing night. I love Zowa Live fans. They are fantastic as always.
They are. They always talk to us about the pod. They always have feedback for us. You know, they tell us what they like. They tell us what they don't like. You know, when we have the heels on, they tell us, you know, they don't like it. You know, they want to see the baby faces. You know, like, you know. So yeah, just super cool. And this was a cool venue, man. It was like they dropped
awesome.
a wrestling ring in the middle of like a jam band studio.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like a jam band or like a hippies living room or something, man. It was great.
It looked like it was this big, like it was upstairs in this big old building, and like the whole thing was like, you know, like wooden floors, and they had like these like art displays like on the walls and stuff, and it was like a giant hippie living room where, you know, there should be a bunch of incense and fish playing on a vintage record player or something like that. It was awesome.
Totally. Yeah, it was really cool venue, man. And it was really awesome, man. And I can't thank Zowa again enough, and Zeke. You know, I meant to say that on the mic while I was up there, but you know, just really do appreciate everybody out there. And hey, apparently Hartenbauer is supposed to be showing AJ how to bump here soon. So stay tuned for that.
Yep. Teach me how to bump.
All right, let's move on here. This Saturday, though, we want to tell you where I'm going to be at High Voltage Wrestling in Hinckley, Illinois, handing out more free merch and helping support a former guest of the show, Sabotage, Sean Logan. He is on that show. Him and his dad are helping to put on the show here. So that's where we're going to be Saturday nights. For High Voltage Wrestling. So stop in if you're there. Check that show out. Big weekend, though. AAW in Chicago is on Friday. Black Label Pro is on Sunday. Dylan, man, what are you looking at for this weekend, man? What do you got for the big shows coming up?
I will be at the Grandel Wrestling show in St. Louis. This is their first show. They're putting on a show, St. Louis versus the World. They've got a bunch of out-of-town talent coming in to wrestle St. Louis wrestlers. The main event is Davey Richards, of course, presenting St. Louis, going up against the former Kalisto, now known as Samurai Soul. Dan the Dad's going to be there wrestling Silas Young. The new Impact champ, Josh Alexander's come into town. So Jackson. We got Alex Shelley in town, Tennille Dashwood in town. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, that sounds like a big, a nice run. Where's that going to be at again?
It is. It's in St. Louis. It's at the Grandel Theater. I believe that's downtown. Grandel Wrestling is a podcast, and they do T-shirts and stuff. And this is their first actual show, so we'll see where they go from here. They got a big lineup for their first show. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, they do, man. That's quite the budget there. So hopefully it comes out an awesome show. I'm sure it will be with that talent, man. So yeah, check that out if you're in the St. Louis area. Let's get to Impact Wrestling. Primo, what you got here for us, man? We had Rebellion this past weekend.
we sure did have Rebellion. But before that, we had the go home with a opener of a non-title tag-up match between Violent by Design and Decay, as I kind of mentioned earlier. It was Violent by Design versus Decay with Crazy Steve and Black Taurus, with Violent by Design winning ahead of their big tag team match at Rebellion. The major players came out and cut a promo about how awesome they are as individuals and how much better they are as a unit. And then they ended up getting interrupted by none other than Philadelphia's, Philadelphia legends, I'd say, Guido and Tony Mamaluke.
Nunzio!
Yeah.
They were the FBI, right?
I say WWE would know them as FBI, and then like
2300
Guido, and they were 20. Yeah, exactly. Then Guido challenged Matt Cardona to a match for the Digital Media Championship. Cardona made short work of the veteran to retain his title. After the match, W. Morrissey gets his revenge on Cardona, and Myers by putting Matt Cardona through a table with some assistance from Jordan Grace.
Where was Big Guido? How come there's only two of them there?
It is what it is.
They got whoever the budget would allow them.
Yeah. Yes, because Big Guido is the expensive one.
Right. No, Marmaluke was expensive.
Right. Oh! Then we had a really cool 8-man tag match between Bullet Club and Honor No More.
Full life.
In which Bullet Club defeated Honor No More ahead of, a lot of them are going to be squaring off at Rebellion. Then Moose comes out and he has his attorney give a fake apology. So Scott D'Amore earlier in the show told Moose he needs to issue an apology because Moose had attacked, Josh Alexander and his family, or like he used slanderous things about his family. Anyway, he comes out, he tells his attorney to give a fake apology to Josh Alexander and his family until Moose grabs the mic and says he's sorry for showing everyone how much of a loser Josh Alexander is and exposing him as not being a protector and role model for his family. And he's also not sorry for the whooping he's going to put on Josh's ass at Rebellion. I was just
going to say what the old heel should say, right? Going into the pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
I always love the fake apologies.
Yeah, there's never any
real
apologies.
I'm sorry.
I don't think there's ever a real apology.
I didn't do it earlier.
Right.
Conor McGregor ruined everybody.
Yes, he did. To absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Right. So, after some more unsavory remarks from Moose, Josh Alexander has enough and eventually comes out. He fights through security, but then he gets to Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore lets him pass. Mm-hmm. And so he can finally get his hands on Moose. They brawl until Josh Alexander is able to deliver a C4 spike from the ring apron through a table to end the show.
That's risky as fuck move.
Yes, right? It was, dude.
Yeah, Jesus
yeah.
Man, I was like, whoa, God, you could kill your main event on a C4, man. Save that for the, you know what I mean?
Right.
Ooh, I was
from the ring apron to a table on the outside.
That was good stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Gross.
So, moving on after that, we, of course, have Rebellion. We open up with that Knockouts World Tag Team title match we spoke of earlier. The Influence, Madison Rain and Tindall Dashwood, defeated the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, to retain the Knockouts World Tag Team titles. Moving on, we had... I'm sorry?
Just a noise. Meh.
Okay. Triple threat match between Jay White, Chris Sabin, and Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin came out with the win there.
Yeah, I was way off on that one. I said the Bullet Club leader.
In a match that we knew this was going to happen, but me and AJ voted against it last week. But in the AAA Reina de Reinas title match, Taya Valkyrie defeated Deonna Purrazzo to capture the AAA women's title.
Wera Loca.
Yeah, wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. She's totally worthy. It's just, what I said last week. I don't like anybody, no matter who you are, coming in right away, a couple days removed and then getting the title and winning. Like, I don't like that.
Is Deanna going to drop these belts before she gets married? Is that the gimmick? Is that what we're doing here?
Is she planning on disappearing for a little bit?
I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense.
A couple weeks at least.
I'm thinking do more with the Ring of Honor title. Since she dropped to AAA, maybe do more with the Ring of Honor side of it, but we'll see.
I would be okay with that.
Mercedes Martinez still have the interim Ring of Honor belt?
She does, yeah.
So as far as I know, yeah.
Yeah. Triple threat for the X Division title. We had a triple threat match between Mike Bailey, Trey Miguel, and Ace Austin. And none other than Ace Austin has captured the X Division title.
Didn't we call that one too?
I didn't.
I said Speedball.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
It's a Speedball.
Did I say Ace Austin? I think I did.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sorry, and I can't, I will never not think of Ace Austin and whenever he almost took that dude out with that staff.
Oh, yeah. when we saw him at AAW?
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, man.
It's so dippy. I love it.
Yeah. So, next up we had Tomohiro Ishii defeating Jonah.
We said Jonah. AJ said Ishii here.
I did.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call.
Where's my Kurt? Where's Kurt? Send him my way. I'm destroying this pay-per-view.
So we had the 8-team elimination challenge for the Impact World titles, in which Violent by Design retained their titles against the Good Brothers, Rich Swann and Willie Mack, Rhino and Heath, OGK, which is, if you don't know, now you know, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, Zicky Dice, Johnny Swinger, W. Morrissey, and Jordan Grace in the major players. And if it's
original Kingdom.
The finish to that was Violent by Design eliminating Heath and Rhino, which is ironic because Rhino was part of Violent by Design.
Yeah. I just like that they had...
Look at them storytelling.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. That's what that's like.
Impact Knockouts World Championship match. Tasha Steelz defeated Rosemary. And then finally, the Impact World Championship match that it's been waited for forever now. Josh Alexander captures the gold and defeats Moose.
Hell yeah. In a bloodbath.
Yep. It was time. They did a whole lot with this storyline.
Yeah, I feel like they'd gone where they as far as they could go. Now they got to do the give me my rematch thing where Moose tries to get it back, but he never gets it back. That whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Rebellion in a nutshell.
Good stuff.
A lot of stuff.
It was a pretty good
pay-per-view.
We didn't,
but yeah, it was pretty decent. Yeah, I'd say it was pretty decent.
I liked it. I really did. It was pretty good.
I mean, the card's stacked.
It really was, and it delivered. It was never boring. It was always pretty good. I was a fan.
I didn't love the tag gauntlet. They had 3 mystery teams coming in. 3 mystery teams were just other people off the roster. It wasn't any big fun surprise or anything. That kind of let me down. But overall, I really enjoyed the show. The X Division Triple Threat was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
And Josh Alexander's kid's going to be the next great pro wrestler. I mean, he had that entrance down to a T, all the way to sticking his head through the ropes and everything. That was really cool. But I enjoyed the show.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Shout out to Sammy Callahan. I got his shirt on today. Can't wait for you to come back, brother. Top 5 heel in the world.
How much longer is he going to be out?
What did he break again? I don't even remember.
Tore his ACL?
No,
he broke both of his legs or something.
He broke his ankle or something?
They broke his leg, I believe.
Broke his leg?
I was at a
party, pal.
wrestling Revolver show, and Sammy came out in front of the Revolver crowd. That's his promotion, and noticed he was walking and said he'd be back soon. Obviously, he didn't give a date or anything. I want to keep but he'll be back soon.
Inside track there from Dylan.
My guy.
That's encouraging.
Yeah,
I like Sammy. I love Sammy.
All right, let's get to NWA Power, shall we?
We shall.
We shall.
Real quick, this is results from last night's NWA Power. The Cardona family, minus Matt Cardona, they got some time on the podium to open up the show. Chelsea Green emphasizes her intent to win that NWA World Women's Championship. We had a match between Nick Aldis defeating Jordan Clearwater. The NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship was defended when Homicide defeated Rhett Titus and retained. Former Women of Honor World Champion and former TNA Knockouts Champion. It's also funny because Velvet is on the commentary team.
Yeah.
But Angelina Love cut a promo and announced that she has now signed with NWA. So, are beautiful people? Beautiful people, maybe?
Yeah.
It's always there. It's always there.
Mickey James makes it clear that...
Who? Yeah.
I know it.
So Mickey James makes it clear that she wants to face the NWA World's Women's Champion Camille. In a build-up that's been going on for a couple weeks now, Trevor Murdoch defeats Aaron Stevens. Angelina Love, in her first match on NWA since signing, defeats Pootie Lynn. And in the main event, NWA Tag Team Championship, La Rebellion, featuring Mecha Wolf and Bestia 666, or Say, defeated the Briscoes to retain their titles.
La Resistance.
Bon vivant.
Bon vivant, French tickler.
Yes, and that is NWA Power for all you marks out there. You're welcome.
Good stuff. Thank you. All right, AJ, take us through AEW, my brother.
Okay.
Let's see what happened here. This is a pretty good Dynamite, I thought.
It was a fantastic Dynamite, and then kind of a nothing Rampage.
Nothing Rampage.
Yeah. So we'll start with Dustin Rhodes versus CM Punk. Of course, they start with the handshake at the beginning. My favorite goddamn spot ever. The two baby faces, respecting each other.
Spot now? He always gets to wrestle first.
Yeah.
It always seems
he's
like
the opener. They go to each town. And they're like, "Welcome to AEW. Here's Punk."
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're the Blackpool Combat Club. Those are really the only two that ever start the show now.
Yeah. So
yes, I'm glad you mentioned them because
Dynamite's coming on. You're like, oh, okay. Well, Punk's coming out. So
when you get to them, I do have something I want to talk about.
Excellent. This is like an old school wrestling match, Dustin Rhodes and CM Punk, and it was great because you don't see this kind of thing often now, I guess. Or it's just old school work a body part, lots of in-ring psychology, so on and so forth. There was a spot where you thought that Dustin Rhodes might win it. Everyone knew he wasn't going to, but it was nice. And of course, CM Punk gets the win, and then they hug afterwards, and then the
good old-fashioned wrestling match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. You don't see it often, unless FTR is wrestling. But then after the match, as Punk's leaving, he gets a little stare down with Hangman Adam Page. So that program is going to be ramping up here pretty soon. What do you guys think of that?
In your eyes,
Miss Elizabeth. What do you guys think of that? Is it too soon?
Just foreshadowing, a little glance at each other, a little touch, maybe. They'll probably brush shoulders next or something like that. So
their eyes might
tickle each other's balls.
Yeah.
For a little French tickle.
I like it. I think he's going to be the guy to take it off Adam. It's just how long they're going to let Adam go before we get there.
June. I give it June because that's when they're going to be in Vegas, right? For the next pay-per-view.
Double or Nothing.
I thought they were going to be at Chicago in May or June, right?
Yeah,
that's a super show though.
Yeah, that's the
collaboration super show. The New Japan.
Super Show.
See, Super
Show.
Man, I want to go to that show so bad, but why they got to put it on a Sunday, dude?
I know that's the worst possible time.
I know, and they got to make me go to the United Center too. It's not easy.
Hey,
it's not.
I just in. I can break it to you right now if you want me to break it to you. It's about exactly what we're talking about.
Sure, go for it.
So, this just in. First match has been made official for Double or Nothing. Hangman Adam Page will defend his AEW World Championship against CM Punk in the main event of Double or Nothing.
In Las Vegas? Oh, look at us go. Knowing,
wow.
It's like we watch things.
You were a step ahead, weren't you?
Goddamn right I am. I'm always a step ahead.
Yeah.
100% of the time. I'm not. It's terrible. Well, that's cool. I want to go to that show.
Hey,
up next, we have the aforementioned Blackpool Combat Club versus Brock Anderson, Lee Moriarty, and Dante. Who are you being?
Sorry.
Which one are you?
I'm sorry. I was thinking of John Moxley, so I made a sound.
Not.
My apologies.
I don't think that's a sincere apology at all.
Huh?
Can you try again? A little more heartfelt, please?
Yeah, I'm just. I'm not a Mox guy, so I was doing the, Thank God Regal's in there, because I haven't been on the Daniel Bryan Moxley tag team kind of train, but now that they've added Regal and started doing the BCC and Yuta and stuff, now I'm more on. If you notice now when they're all in the ring, Mox is like the crazy guy in the back that just won't stop pacing around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like when the Shield,
the time bomb. You know what I mean? Like he's
the lunatic fringe.
Lunatic fringe, yeah. And then they got the scientist, and it's like the A team or something, But
I mean, I'm on board. I'm on board with it. I
happen to be a big fan of them. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Of this whole thing, but I actually have something else I want to talk about in regards to them. So they're the Blackpool Combat Club, right?
Yes.
It takes about 5 minutes, give or take, of airtime for Daniel Bryan to come out, then Will You to come out, and then for Moxley to come out from the crowd. You're the Blackpool Combat Club. I love all their entrances.
They don't have faction music yet.
But maybe they need to have a faction entrance,
Yeah. I think
save some airtime, and it'd be cool.
They should all just come out to whoever is actually performing that night. Like, they all should have come out. I mean, it's all three of them tonight. But
it's going to be some sort of William Regal, Blackpool-esque type music.
It's just weird. It's just weird that, you have Brian come out, and then I said Daniel Bryan earlier, didn't I? You have Brian Danielson come out. Yep. You have him come out, and then you have Will Yuta come out right from the stage. And then we're all just waiting for Moxley to come out through the crowd. It's just, it throws it kind of off tempo there. And I mean, it's all cool. I love Moxley's entrance. It just, as a faction, I want it to be more unified.
What would William Regal Blackpool music sound like exactly?
Kind of something similar to his,
he's a man.
No, the other one he used to come out with, like some sort of.
So you want him to have fart music?
Sure, yeah. Just like that.
So this, I mean, even though you're not on board, I love this. I love this match. I thought it was great. Moxley got the win. And then Lee Moriarty is probably going to be the next member of the Blackpool Combat Club. Wonderful. I did like the moment where they Bryan Danielson slaps Lee Moriarty and just fucking slaps him right back. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Dirty. Got something for you.
Go for it. Thank you.
Did you just find that right now?
No, it's already there.
That's the sound I hear in my head when Moxley's music comes on. I think it's the music too. I hate the Wild Thing music.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of
it doesn't fit him. Let's do something else. Let's have crazy Insane Asylum music or something. You know what I mean?
Insane Asylum is
really quick aside.
Let's do everything WWE.
Give me nut job music.
Nut job music. Give me dick hard music.
That'll make your dick hard.
That'll make your dick hard. Whenever my brother and I, or whenever I talk to Game of Thrones with my brother, which he doesn't talk back because he hates Game of Thrones. So whenever I bring it up, he just goes every single time. He's been doing that for years. I just thought I'd throw that in there because it makes me giggle every time.
That's what I do when people bring up Star Wars. Like, I don't care. Exactly.
So up next we have
to talk about.
Up next we have
your opinion of Star Wars.
I don't mind Star Wars.
I love Star Wars. I'm a big fan, actually.
Yeah, it's just not my thing. When people talk to me about it, I'm like, it's like a whole nother language. I don't get it.
I already packed them all away.
I don't speak nerd.
Yes, you do.
I do. I very much do.
No, I don't. I do love.
Me too. Just not
one
that
of the
specific.
Best things to look at on YouTube is like these Star Wars conventions where these dudes dress up like, Darth Vaders and stormtroopers and stuff. Like
it's called cosplay.
Right. I know. I think it's great. That's awesome. I love it.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan either, but I've seen all the movies. I mean, I like them.
I've seen like the first 3, and then they lost me after that.
The first 3 back when they came out in the theaters
in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 is the first 3. I didn't say the second 3.
Did you drive yourself to the movie theater?
All right, fuck off. Go back
to
AEW.
With your best gal. Share a popcorn. They cost 15 cents.
It was a drive-in then.
You have enough for some jujubes. Anyways, so we get an announcement from Tony Khan with the help of Adam Cole. There, I got it in there. I didn't think I was going to.
Hey!
About the Forbidden Door show in Chicago on June 26th. We have spoken about that, and we will speak about it more. What I want to get to about this is Jay White then made a surprise appearance. And it was
King
awesome.
Switch. Whoop, whoop.
The crowd was loving it, too. By loving it, I mean they were hating it. So it was cool to see Jay White in AEW, like just kind of promote the Forbidden Door show, all that good stuff. Got some nice little Bullet Club chants from the crowd. There was a match. I don't care. Wardlow. I think it was an Owen Hart. No, it wasn't even an Owen Hart thing. It was just
Wardlow it was the contract thing.
Yeah.
He always looks like his eyes are about to pop out of his head after the match, don't it?
He does, a little bit. So then in the Owen Hart qualifier, we have Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly, and one half of the AEW Tag Teams champion loses. Like Jungle Boy just loses, which is fine.
To Cool Kyle?
Cool Kyle. And then up next, we had Hook.
Send Hook.
Did y'all see who he wrestled?
Send Hook.
Anthony Henry.
Anthony Henry. Yeah.
Anthony Henry. Look at that shit. Getting some time in. I mean, he got squashed, but which is fine.
Yeah, ain't nobody stopping the Hook train right now.
No. I did like the interaction with.
I feel like his hair gets messier.
Oh yeah, it's just like a giant.
It's just getting longer. He's just letting it go. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. It works for him.
Oh yeah, it's
I say that as
his
someone
brand now.
I say that as someone who can't grow the head hair. So I did like how Danhausen comes out and they had their little reaction. And Danhausen, did you guys catch Hook breaking?
Yes.
Like Hook broke. Like I was like, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Because Danhausen's awesome. He's so funny. And then I want to talk about this just because Sammy Guevara is the most unlikable, like naturally unlikable wrestler I think that they have on their whole entire roster. So positioning him as a babyface this entire time it seems almost counterintuitive because he is such a douchey heel. I don't know if I like Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page as the faces in this little feud that they have going on, but I love Ethan Page and I love Dan Lambert, and Scorpio Sky can fuck right off. But so I was interested. I hate Sammy Guevara. I've never really liked him all that much. He does a cool Spanish fly. Like what else? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he was good in the Pinnacle, man. I mean you can't deny that. He's great wrestler, but yeah, Inner Circle. But I mean we've talked about on the pod. We just don't like this Tay Conti. yes, they're in love. We know, so they're going to like run this couple gimmick down our throats and stuff. But, I don't know. It seems like he was way hotter and they just cooled him off big time by doing this. You know what I mean?
By letting him be himself, apparently.
Now he's back to like a little annoying Sammy. So
yeah, he fucking sucks.
Not
a fan. Let's go ahead and skip to the main event coffin match with Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo. There's only one thing I want to talk about in this match, and that was Sting.
Oh, Idolo!
Idolo!
He started doing it and then muted his mic. That makes sense. I just like Sting in the crowd, and then watching 62 or however fucking old he is, year-old Sting jump off that fucking why can't I think of words today? The stand-up doohickey thing that people walk up. That was a cool spot. It was terrifying. It was very terrifying. It's like, don't see.
He had extra padding on.
Yeah, he looked like like Randy from a Christmas Story.
Yeah, he was a little thicker. straight down, like you see. Like I was
gotta protect them hips.
Yeah, I don't blame him, man.
Old man hips.
God, I can't believe he's still doing that stuff, man. He just did one not long ago.
Yeah, I mean it's cool, but just don't.
Right.
So that's Dynamite. Let's go through fucking Rampage really quickly. Adam Cole versus Tomohiro Ishii. Cool to see him twice. That was nice. I wish he would have won. Adam Cole won. Whatever. Sir Murderhawk, Lance Arthur against Serpentico.
Yes, sir.
I honestly don't even know who won this match because I went outside to smoke.
I believe Sir Murderhawk beat Serpentico.
That would make sense.
Pretty sure.
Then we have Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia. I love Daniel Garcia. He's awesome. But he's not winning over Eddie Kingston. And then Jade Cargill with another squishy squash type thing. Blah blah blah. Rampage over. It was a very non-eventful.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah. The only thing I come out from Rampage. Do you guys think the Undisputed Elite, Cole, Red Dragon, you think they're going to join Bullet Club too? Because they're kind of teasing it. What do you think, Dylan?
I don't think they will. Bullet Club, they just got rid of the Tongans just left. I think they will probably tease Adam Cole and Bucks never joining, and then there will be another big Bullet Club blow up Jay versus Adam Cole at the Chicago show, maybe something like that. They'll definitely tease it, but I don't see them actually going with that.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, because you kind of see Jay and Adam Cole. I can see kind of working together. So, all right, you guys got anything for AEW before I get to the WWE?
That was me shooing AEW away.
All right, let's send Hook. There he goes. All right, boys. SmackDown from Albany, New York. Let's a couple.
Smacking it down, baby.
Smacking it down, baby. We got Ronda and Charlotte contract signing. Drew Gulak brings the contract out. They banter back and forth, yada, yada. Charlotte ends up flipping the table over. Gulak gets involved, and Ronda puts him in an armbar, and she signs the contract while having Drew Gulak in the armbar. And we got an I Quit match set for Backlash between these two ladies once again. Do you guys want to see this or no?
No.
Oh, by the way, Drew Gulak, the technician submission specialist.
Yes, there is that too. Although it did make me laugh. Like Ronda Rousey she's bad. Like she is very bad. Unless she's doing things.
Like, don't get me wrong. Ronda Rousey is a legit badass.
Yes.
Like, real life. Like she will rip your fucking arm off.
But I did think it was funny when she signed this contract with Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
But apart from that, no, I don't want to see it. I don't care.
Yeah, with my favorite part of the segment, I don't really care about the match. Just give me more.
I'll be honest, this whole run since we saw her return at the Rumble, I just
not on board.
No,
me neither. And I knew that you didn't like Rousey from the beginning, as you made it very well known at the Rumble. And I was a Rousey fan, and now I'm just like,
right. All right, so we got another Gunther squash, and then next up we got Riddle.
What up, bro?
Versus Jey Uso, and they come out to let everybody know that.
Cause you're the twos, and we the ones.
We the ones, baby.
I hate that's so stupid. I'm sorry. You the twos is like the dumbest thing.
And we
the ones.
I think it's great because it goes back to sports for me. The ones are the starters, the twos are the bench, the backups, the warm-ups.
It just sounds.
I'm with it.
So
I'm with
stupid.
it just because it's like
I'm not.
I love it. I do.
You the twos.
All right, AJ, you're the twos and we the ones. So Riddle wins after taking a frog splash, and he rolled Jey over for the pin. So Riddle has now beat both Usos. That's the storyline they go. And then they show the man himself, Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
He's in the back looking super pissed. So that will progress later. And then next up, we got Sami Zayn, who also tells Roman Reigns,
acknowledge me.
And Sammy does. He tells him that he acknowledges him and he could be a very valuable ally to him. So stay tuned for that. So main event, we got Sammy, right? Sammy and Drew McIntyre in a lumberjack match. Sami Zayn gets out, runs away from the match. Adam Pearce comes out and says next week, Drew versus Sammy in a steel cage match. Do you guys care about that at all?
Nope. I love Sami Zayn, but I gotta be honest, I'm bored to death of Drew McIntyre. I don't know why. I love Drew McIntyre, but
it's because he hasn't been in any stories lately. Yeah. He's been in the same shit with Happy Corbin for like a year, it feels like.
It killed him for me. Like just absolutely killed him, and it makes me sad.
Yep, I agree, man.
My favorite part of the main event. I don't know if you saw it or not, but during the entrance, Nakamura and New Day was coming out, and Woods and Cole were both doing Nakamura's little hand jive entrance thing with them. And then the match started, and I didn't care, but the entrance was really good.
Yep, did not care.
All right, so moving on to Raw, boys.
I mean, it's a great entrance.
Yeah.
A great entrance.
So moving on to Raw. Raw was in Knoxville, Tennessee, where the mayor Kane resides, and then also where Bianca Belair went to college. But tonight is Randy Orton Appreciation Night. We are celebrating 20 years of Randy Orton. He debuted 20 years ago. They had this big video package for him. Riddle comes out. He brings Randy out to the ring, and they are surrounded by the locker room, or at least most of the roster. So immediately I start thinking the Usos are going to interrupt here. So I looked 7 minutes after it starts. Randy hasn't said anything, and I already thinking the bloodline, or at least the Usos, are interrupted. Now, Randy's speech, he's thanking everybody, tells everyone that he's having the most fun he's ever had. You know, he loves Riddle, loves being with Riddle. He thanks the universe, yada, yada. So Riddle says he has a surprise for Randy. Out comes a former Legacy member, Cody. Interesting enough. We find out that the Joker, Mr. Burn It Down, comes out here. There he is. He's sitting ringside, actually, with a mic, and says, "Tonight is about Randy, not Cody." And then out comes Kevin Owens and says that. I'm sorry.
I was going to say his suit was actually kind of conservative on Monday.
Yes, it was. Yeah. What he's been wearing.
It was Randy Orton's night.
Yep. So Seth is ringside, right, with the mic, and then Kevin Owens comes out to tell everybody what he thinks about Ezekiel.
He talks like Elias. He sounds like Elias, because that's Elias. Okay.
I love it so much that everybody else is just like, bro, it's Elias, or it's Ezekiel. Excuse me. Like, what are you talking about? It's clearly Ezekiel. It makes KO feel like he's a psychopath.
Yes. I also love how when he interrupts, he's like, "I'm sorry to interrupt. That's not my thing." Right. It's so funny. Like, oh, it's so dumb. I love it. It's so dumb. I love it.
Okay, so 16 minutes past the hour. As I said, 7 minutes is when Randy comes out. So 16 minutes past the hour is when we finally see the Usos. They come out and talk shit to RKO and basically tell them they're going to take the tag titles at Backlash.
Why is that?
You tell us, why is that?
Because you're the twos and we the ones.
First of all, you can't say we the ones. One is singular. That's why it's one. You can't be like, we're the ones.
Because you're the twos and we the ones.
You know what? The ones are a team. You're a two. You don't understand, AJ.
Me down here in my two-dom.
Right.
Understand.
You wouldn't understand this one stuff.
The number one.
Man.
Yeah. So
it doesn't make any sense. We the ones. We are collectively ones. Like there can only be one in this particular.
So Adam Pearce comes out to put this mess away. There's 18 people in the ring. He makes an 8-man tag team match for the main event later on that night. Bianca comes out to get her hometown volunteer stuff in. They're on the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. She's got her orange on. She beats Sonya. And then we get the Edge promo warning everyone that he's basically going to make everyone pay that doesn't believe in him. And tonight starts with Finn Balor, AJ's boy.
My boy.
So
my favorite thing about that promo,
yeah,
I didn't cut you off, but is when he starts. How many times since he started doing this gimmick have I said, "Man, that's the Undertaker's light"?
Yeah.
And
he just references it. Like,
yep. He says right here, he says, funny, all these people have made fun of me saying, why are you using the purple light? It's the Undertaker's thing. He just laughed because we're going to do it better or something like that.
I love it.
But yeah, that was funny that we had been talking about that. He brought it up. All right, so next up, are you guys into this Edge thing? I'm keeping an open mind. I want to build the faction.
I am also too. They're doing the Judgment Day thing, by the way. And if you go back to one of the Judgment Day posters of the past, it's actually of Edge with one of those balance things.
Yeah,
yeah. So exactly like what he does in that promo.
Yeah, I would love to see Finn Balor join this faction. Like turn heel and join with Edge. Like he's not doing fuck all on his own.
Rhea has turned. She's joining, right?
Oh God, yeah. She's got to be joining.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Another Veer squash. Bobby Lashley won the arm wrestling contest.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, see, I can do that too.
And then he got beat up. Yeah, for sure. Becky returns, says, it's a little sad promo, says that she will rise once again. Nobody's going to stop her. And then we get a huge return. You guys have been waiting on it. Not Bayley, but Asuka. Her music hits. She comes out to say she'll be the one to stop Becky. All right, let's talk about this now.
She's a mark for her entrance, by the way. She was singing the fuck out of her entrance song.
Yes, she is.
Well, her entrance song is amazing.
Yeah.
I love Asuka's entrance song. It's fantastic.
She holds that thing in her mouth the whole way, too, the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. I love that.
Are you an Asuka guy, Dylan?
I am not the biggest Asuka guy, but I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely more of a Becky guy. But it's very good to see Asuka back. They can use all the help they can get on.
You're in good company, my friend.
Asuka's my favorite. I fucking love
we like Asuka and we like Becky.
Well, two-thirds of us like Becky.
Yeah.
Someone is wrong.
I'm a Charlotte guy by default. I mean, what can I say?
I mean, you're allowed to like the Beatles and the Stones at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive.
Right. But I don't know. I'm a Charlotte guy. I just can't do it. You can't make me either.
No,
all right, so Finn Balor loses to Damian Priest, obviously. And then another return, boys. Mustafa Ali returns.
He looked good.
He comes back during Miz TV and has a match with Miz, beats the Miz, and then he gets blindsided by Tommaso Ciampa, and they took some shots at Ali here during this, about him taking his ball and going home. Miz says something about, remember that time you quit or something? And it was...
Another thing, too, it was super annoying, but the commentating team, Corey Graves and the other two schmucks, and then fucking the ring announcer, all of them said Mustafa Ali's name wrong.
Mustafa.
It's Mustafa now.
But that's what they said it like that. But there were other times that they said it like completely. I mean, Miz said it Mufasa. That was funny, but
Mufasa Ali.
Mufasa. What are we doing? Lion King characters now? Main event, 8-man tag, RKO, Ezekiel and Cody beats the Usos, KO and Seth to finish out Raw. NXT, you guys got anything else for Raw? Go.
Yes, I do. And in what world besides... Yeah, exactly.
It's when got his finger going. He's in depth talking now, boy.
In what world do you see that team beating the likes of the Usos, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens when it's not Randy Orton Appreciation Night?
Never.
Right? Yeah, never. Probably not at all. Yeah, they had to.
Don't get me wrong. I love Randy Orton. He's like in my top 6 of all time. I love him.
He's amazing.
But I feel like the other 4 people were more stacked than his 4 people.
I just think that this is like the 1000th episode of Raw or whatever. When was that they did where DX came out and squashed the Good Brothers? I feel like it was that kind of Raw where it doesn't really count except for like the Finn Balor loss and
for celebratory purposes.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, hey, this will be fun. We'll do this, and it was. I actually enjoyed most of Raw this week. Well, nope, not most, because I hated the arm wrestling. I hated Veer. What else did I do?
You hated Finn Balor losing?
Nah. I mean, I hate watching Finn lose, but I get it. Like, Austin Theory's like the next big thing in that company in Vince's eyes, so...
Sure.
Put him over. Yeah, sure, why not?
Take my picture by the pool.
That's got to go away. Tyler Breeze did that gimmick so much better. Get a different gimmick, Austin Theory. I'm sorry, Theory. Oh, and it's just Ciampa now, which that annoyed the piss out of me for some reason.
What are you nervously messing with right now that it keeps that clicking noise? What is that? Take those things away.
So,
thank you.
So, why is it? Why is it just Ciampa? Like,
mute your pen.
It's also just Theory now.
Yeah.
It's also just Ciampa and Theory, yeah.
What does Vince McMahon have against 2 names all of a sudden?
I also saw
Miz had a line. Miz had a line that made me laugh a lot harder than I should have laughed. For years to get the in front of my name. Maybe if you work hard enough, you can get the in front of Theory. And he said, "No, Mr. McMahon says I'm just Theory." And Miz said, "Okay, Theory." And I started laughing, and I was laughing at that joke, but I laughed very hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's because I also saw that too. That Vince McMahon has now decided that anybody coming up from NXT or anybody newly joining WWE will no longer use the real name.
Yep. No. Apparently, never, ever. Got to change it.
They want all the intellectual property.
All of it. Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get to NXT, boys. Kick off the show. Lash versus Nikita Lyons. Lyons wins. Natty attacks her. Cora Jade saves. Then Nikita saves Cora. Just a schmozzy schmoz to get to Nikita and Natty. Von Wagner beats the Don, Tony D'Angelo, after El Legado Fantasma interferes. We got a debut here. Nathan Frazier he debuted on a spot with Grayson Waller and my guy Andre Chase. The best thing about NXT.
What we have right now is a teachable moment.
Voila.
Grayson Walla. And then my favorite word. What?
You had like half did it though.
I feel like that was a poor attempt.
Walla. Well, reason I was about to say, because I wanted to get to the part where I said my favorite thing that Primo said last week. We're going to talk about the man that I think is probably going to win the North American title here pretty soon. Old Bloodline guy, Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa.
There it is. So next week he should have a shot at that. And then, man, let me tell you, Elektra Lopez, she's a boss, man. Woo. Good Lord. Yeah. Like, that chick is a super boss. Like, I hope they push her, man, because like she can go and she's a badass too, man. So imagine like her and Nikita. Yeah, daddy.
Bang, bang.
Bang. All right, so shocker boys, the Viking Raiders are back on NXT. Are you mad? Are you happy? Is that where they belong? What do you think, Dylan?
I'm a fan of the Viking Raiders. I just want to see them do something good. If that comes on NXT, fine. If it's on SmackDown, fine. If that's in New Japan, even better. But, I'm a big fan of those guys dating back to their Ring of Honor days and their New Japan days. I just want to see them on my TV wrestling. I don't mind them in NXT, but I don't want them to be the main roster guys just coming down to put over the next team.
Sure.
Do something with them.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good pop from the crowd. They were welcome back, all that kind of stuff. And they're going to face the Creed brothers next week. So putting them right there, with the Creed brothers, I'm sure they're pretty excited about getting to wrestle the Viking Raiders. That should be awesome. Next, Primo, let's talk about it, man. Your buddy Wes Lee has a video package here. He is going out on his own as a single. He kind of talks about what's happened to him the last few weeks. So looks like this is the start of his push. Reason why I say that, you're friends with him, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we actually, real life, we served together. I am excited for him. Hopefully he does get a deserving push. He will be a great singles competitor. His athleticism is amazing, and he has great charisma. So it's exciting to see him still getting that singles push.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him go somewhere with this. So, Dylan, man, we've seen Wesley, he's been on the indies for quite a while, and, he can hang on his own as a single. I would like to see him get a little push here.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely got talent. Most of what I've seen him has been in a tag team. I'm excited to see what he'll do as a single. A lot of stuff with the Rascals, with him and Trey and Wesley. It should be a good, like him as a single. So.
All right, so next up, main event, basically, we had Mandy Rose beat Roxanne Perez, Roxy, basically, so they're going to be bullying up on her for a while. And then the finish was Joe Gacy, right? So he basically says he's going to be NXT champ. Rick Steiner comes out, and Gacy sends his druids after him. I don't know what else to call them.
That's fair.
Yeah, and basically that's what they look like. So Braun saves him, but Gacy cheap shots him and stands with the belts. The show goes off. Like I said, I think this is another guy for Braun to kind of put under his belt. But I'm kind of liking Joe Gacy more and more, honestly. Like, because I get Bray Wyatt vibes from him, right?
A little bit, yeah. But honestly, it just makes me want Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, you don't want nobody to do Bray Wyatt but Bray Wyatt. But I like what Joe Gacy's doing. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I want him to be Joe Gacy though. I don't want to think of him as any kind of in the realm of Bray Wyatt. Yep. But I do like what he's currently doing. You know what I mean?
Right. All right, so you guys got anything else for WWE before we close up the recap here, boys? Nada. All right, so this is the last time we're going to be doing our recap like this. Moving forward, we've been listening to the fans and everybody out there. We're going to be more of a reactional type recap to what's happened over the week. So, we won't be breaking down exactly what happened. We will be talking about things that, we're still going to be watching it, of course, but we're going to be talking about the things that we want to talk about and the things that, jump out to us, and spend more time on, what we want to talk about versus, reading, Veer squashing every week and, that kind of shit. So, you know what I mean? So we're going to change it up, man. We've been listening to the fans out there, and we've been trying to find a way to kind of tweak this. So that's what we're going to be going with. So looking forward to that next week, and we appreciate everybody there. So that's going to do it for the recap for the week. Let's get to this Dropkick discussion.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus, Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, so the last Dropkick discussion of the month, boys. We've been talking about WCW's famous matches. Well, tonight, and for the last one, we're going to break down Monday Night Nitro from July 6th, 1998. I was in the building that night to see Goldberg face Hogan. It was one of the biggest Nitros ever. It was I remember the crowd going nuts, like just the feeling in the air of, this was going to be the culmination of Goldberg winning the title. Everybody in the world knew it. They tried to throw a little curveball in there, and Goldberg had to beat Scott Hall earlier in the night, which if you didn't watch that match before this one on Nitro, go back and watch it. They legit get pissed at each other during the match and start giving some stiff shots. So go back and check that out. But, it was very, very interesting to go back and watch. Like I said, one of the most watched Nitros of all time. I was there. The crowd was rabid. It was exciting. I was a heels guy, so I was pulling for Hollywood Hogan. I was NWO, but we all knew what was going to happen. And it was kind of one of the, times that I always remember, man, because, like I remember being, some of the biggest pops that I've heard in wrestling, while I was there. And this, goes up there with it whenever, you can imagine Atlanta, Georgia Dome, about 40,000 people this place holds, or did hold. It's not there anymore. But so, it was just amazing place for events. So, yeah, so the match itself, they went about 10 minutes. The crowd was ready to get to the finish right off the bat. Like they just wanted jackhammer spear done, right? You know what I mean? Well, they were able to manage to go about 10 minutes here before they actually got to the finish. Charles Robinson, Little Nate was your referee. This was, the big push for Goldberg. This was the culmination of, he was the United States champion. He would end up relinquishing the United States championship later, but as he ended up winning both belts back then. So this was the big Goldie NWO spray painted belt. Goldberg came out. He was in the ring first, as it should be. I always think the champion should come out last. So I love this. So he comes out last, the Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child, comes rolling on, and signs are everywhere. At this point, I'm probably knocking pigeons off my shoulders so I can watch the match. I was so up high in the ring. I think I paid like $40 to get in one of the last couple seats there because I didn't buy these tickets ahead of time. I bought them like a couple days before that when I realized I could go. When I seen what was about to happen.
That's a hell of a deal, though.
Yeah,
really it is. Scalper on the street.
I mean, it's 1998, but that's still a good deal.
Yeah, Scalper on the street. And I went in after about the second or third match. Like I got there and Goldberg and Scott Hall was about to start when I had gotten into the arena. So I just knew it was going to be a big special night, and I just wanted to be a part of it. You know, I was WCW guy, lived about 2 hours from Atlanta, so I was, on the road down 85 South all the time for Atlanta Falcons games. So when there was big wrestling going in Atlanta, I was usually there. So, all right, guys. So we've watched everything up to this point. You guys have watched the entrances. Tell us what you see up to this point. Dylan, start us off, man.
I love the following through the back for his entrance. It ate up a little bit of time, but that just helps build the anticipation. It gave commentary a chance to talk about it. You get all the security guard following him. Right before he goes through the curtain, I guess he passes through a part where fans can see him, and you kind of start to get that pop. You start to hear everybody going crazy, and then he comes out through the entrance, and everybody just loses it. It's a great reaction. DV, you was at the arena. I was 3 years old, not watching wrestling live yet. I did catch it on a VHS not long after, but just another DB's older than me, very old, very much older than me. And then Hogan's entrance. I love that. It's the Attitude Era, but Hogan still comes out and he's like, I'm going to kick Goldberg's. And then keeps going. I wouldn't let him cuss. It was like, I'm going to kick Goldberg's butt. And then kept going. But that's all I had for the entrance.
Nice. AJ?
So this was in the height of my, oh my God, I am so annoyed with the NWO phase of my childhood.
Right.
Because every 8 seconds,
right.
Oh my God. It was seriously like 10 times every episode. For life. That's the one I hated the most. The for life. Because shut the fuck up. So I was hyped for Goldberg to take this belt off of Hollywood Hogan. I was not. I mean, I want to say I was not a fan of Hogan, but he was the best heel at the time, so he was doing a great job because I hated him. But I remember just being so hyped for Goldberg to be the new champ because everyone knew it was happening. He wasn't going to lose. It was on free TV too, which was amazing. And Dylan, you made a good point about the entrances because I never thought about that. Like it kind of builds like the importance of Goldberg. Finally, it's like someone's finally going to take this belt away from Hollywood Hogan. Like, and they start it in the back, and it builds up the tension and the excitement, and it makes Goldberg a very big deal. Sorry, I clicked buttons and things went away for a second. So that's what I got going up.
Primo.
Okay, so
voila.
Lanny.
Voila.
Lanny.
I always really love seeing Goldberg security, considering that he's bigger than all of them.
Yeah.
But I was actually specifically looking at his security in this event, and there was only like one dude in the back that was in the rear of the security pulling up the flank that might have been about the same size as Goldberg. So besides that, none of those dudes are protecting Goldberg. He's protecting them.
Yeah.
Also, I remember like as a kid, so 1998, I was 9 years old. So I was like my son's age, just a little. He's a little older than I was, but around that age. And it was just like 96, 97 was when my wrestling fandom started. My brother, KO, was a WCW kid. I was WWF. But anytime we went over and I watched WCW with him, I just always remember absolutely loving Goldberg's pyro. And him standing in the pyro, doing the dragon breath.
Hell yeah.
And just, I couldn't remember at that age. I can't remember anybody else doing that. I just thought it was so cool. And then, Voodoo Child is so cool too. I liked Hogan's entrance as well.
Yeah. Love or hate Goldberg. That was a cool entrance. And it was original.
At the time.
Yeah.
During the 90s, I loved Goldberg. Yeah.
I didn't start hating Goldberg until much later.
So this last decade. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, after Bret Hart, that's when I started hating Goldberg.
All right, so let's talk about the match, boys. The bell rings. The Goldberg chants ensue, of course. They start by testing strength on each other, and then after a few lockups, Hogan goes to his heel tactics, including a classic back rake that I'm always happy to see. I love that. Especially the sell. The sell's always got to be good. Like, ow!
Oh, yeah. You got to arch the back in.
Yeah, you got to arch the back, man. Good stuff.
Got to get your hands like,
Immediately, Hogan takes off his weightlifting belt and straps Goldberg a few times with it. Goldberg takes it away and gets rid of it. And Schiavone goes, he doesn't want to cheat. He doesn't want to do anything, like he wants to win the right way. So they are playing up babyface Goldberg here. So,
by the way, I miss Tenay.
Oh yeah, Iron Mike.
Too,
yeah, I was a big fan of Iron Mike.
I thought it was funny. These girls are booty dancing and twerking in front of Tenay, and he's sitting there like all prim and proper, trying to talk about wrestling. Like this girl's dropping her junk in front of him. Great. And then another funny thing is we hear Schiavone say, or one of the commentators say, "Classy of Charles Robinson to not disqualify Hogan." Making sure the fans get a finish on this match. By the belt. You know what I mean?
Very cheeky.
I wouldn't call it classy, but I could say that they want to fish. They want to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so Hogan's back in the ring. They lock up. Hogan sucks chants start to happen. They both go outside once again. Hogan hits Goldberg with 3 decent chair shots. Not too bad. And then they throw each other back into the ring, and Hogan body slams Goldberg. 2 leg drops, and we get a pin, and Goldberg kicks out of the pin. So, we see the shocked face by Hogan because he just kicked out of 2 leg drops. Usually one works. You know what I'm saying? So, and then here comes the shenanigans. Out comes Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. DDP and Karl Malone come out right after him. Malone hits Kurt with the diamond cutter, which was just funny to me. Karl Malone, the old forward from the Utah Jazz. And one of DDP's good friends.
Karl fucking Malone.
Hits him with a diamond cutter. That distracts Hogan, and he is watching what's going on outside. Meanwhile, Goldberg is set up behind him for the spear. So here we go. We get to the finish. We see what's coming. Hogan turns around, takes the spear. Goldberg looks at the camera, chalks one up like he always does, and says another one. He's going to be number 118 or something like that. And then, there you go. And then Hogan turns around, takes the spear. Goldberg chalks up, and then we see the jackhammer next up for Hogan, and he takes the 1, 2, 3 for the pin. Crowd goes nuts. Goldberg is your world champ. We see all kind of stuff being thrown. Did you guys see the toilet paper roll that came by? Yeah, I threw that.
Wait, what?
No, just kidding.
I say you
threw that from the rafters.
I would have had to throw that
Tom
thing
Brady.
5 minutes before the finish to get down there, probably.
Jesus Christ!
But last note I had about this, boys, was. I just thought it was funny, man. I love watching the old days of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't see that stuff much anymore. The drinks, the paper towels, the beer cups, all that stuff, or toilet papers, I guess you'd say. But Mike Tenay says in less than 10 months, Goldberg is your WCW champion. So they kind of put it into a nutshell there. Kind of really puts it in perspective that Goldberg came on the scene and, just kicked ass to a world title. And he stands there with the pyro. He's got both belts. It's pretty awesome for me. I can't remember what wrestling I had seen up until that point, but I think that was probably the highlight. You know what I'm saying? Other than maybe seeing Steamboat and Flair, like something, as a dork, wrestling dork, I would love more than that. But like event wise, like I think that was probably because I didn't go to SummerSlam until 2002, so this was bigger than that to me. So, but yeah, just the feeling of, man, I'm really a part of something here. Like Goldberg, like I felt like that music played for 45 minutes after it was over. It just kept going. I remember walking down the ramps and almost to the bottom of that, and the music's still going. He's not out there, but I mean, just the vibe, the sound. Wrestling was hot, man. 98. The wars were going on. Goldberg was a huge part of that. This was their iconic guy. You know what I mean? So, this was the culmination.
Let me ask you this. Like, when you watch this, like, this was a big moment.
Sure.
In WCW, it's a big moment in wrestling, period. And watching this over this past week for this preparation for this pod, like, does it take you back because you were there?
It definitely does. When Nitro came, when it came on, I was watching the intros, the girls dancing in the ring. I remembered that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the ring looked like a thumbtack to me, from where I was, But like I remember that, man. I just remember just the excitement, you know what I'm saying, like had Hogan won that night, they probably would have burned that joint down like way earlier than they end up doing later. But yeah, man, it was just cool to be a part of a big, huge WCW event like that, and go back and look now, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like it was really cool. I was in my 20s during, let's just say that, during this time frame, and wrestling was hot, man. I was so glad I went that night, man. It was cool. I didn't know my mom's car was going to make it there or not. She had this old like Chevy Cavalier, like 85, 84 Cavalier, and me and my buddy got in the car and went down there, which we did a lot of times, for Braves games and stuff like that, and without tickets, because you can buy tickets on the streets. They were, a lot more prominent, I think, than they are now. So there was always, you could always go buy tickets from scalpers. So, just really cool, man. Although I wasn't pulling for Goldberg that night, but it was super cool. So y'all give me y'all's reactions to this, man. Dylan, kick us off, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the MVP Perry in my book, Tony Schiavone, time favorite play-by-play guy. Bobby Heenan is on fire as he was during most Hogan matches. It's cool, Hogan's the babyface, Bobby Heenan the heel announcer, and then when Hogan's NWO, Hollywood Hogan, he can still be ragging on Hogan, but now Bobby's like the babyface guy ragging on. I noticed Hogan not only hit Goldberg with his belt, he not only hit him with a low blow, he hit him with 3 ear shots, and there's no stopping the action, no oh, this should be a DQ. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we do. DB, you mentioned the 2 leg drops. I think it might be even 3 leg drops. I watched it back a couple of times. You see 2 on camera, then they cut to Hennig coming out of the entrance, and there's another. You hear something hitting, and then the cutter. Obviously, I could be wrong. It's not on camera. Just watching it, piece it together, and yeah, Goldberg kicking out of 2 or 3 leg drops. It doesn't matter either way. That's still extremely impressive because who else has kicked out of Hogan's leg drop? So 2 or 3, that's awesome. And then the pop at the end, you could going crazy count. It's like they were there to see Goldberg win the world title. Like you said, if that would have been a massive disappointment. And it may be something else I'm just reading too much into. I did watch the Goldberg Hall match before, and like you said, you can see them kind of getting into it, being a little physical. In my opinion, it looked like Goldberg was much lighter with Hogan than he was earlier with Hall. I don't know if they got to him in the back and said, hey, this is the main event with Hogan. You got to be easy. You can't be killing our guy out there. But not that it looked bad or anything. Just watching those 2 matches back to back, in my opinion, Goldberg would have been a little bit lighter. And DDP and Karl Malone, that's huge. You're getting an guy out there, height of his popularity, in your main event on TNT, setting up your pay-per-view match. Like, we don't see that very often. People actually coming out and getting physical. That's very cool. I enjoyed the match.
Primo?
Well, first of all, I said referee Charles Robinson, Lil Nate out there representing. Goldberg, so they said at one point there, they said, because at the time, Goldberg was like the shit to the WCW. Like, he was like, they were going to throw the saddle on that dude and just ride it till it fell off. But they said Goldberg is going to be the biggest name in the sport. And I wrote, Goldberg did not go on to become the biggest name in the sport. He's a legend, yes. There's no denying he's a legend. But I wouldn't say the biggest. Not in 2022. How did the ref... Okay, so when they do the low blow, Charles Robinson's like right there. And I said, how'd Charles Robinson not see the low blow? It was like eye level with him.
It was like this.
He was like looking right at it.
Yeah, selective sight, those refs.
Karl Malone with one smooth ass diamond cutter. Yeah, that was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, he flattened out for it.
And Goldberg wins, crowd goes wild, and they stayed in place after the finish and kept chanting Goldberg until Dirty gave everybody the signal that it was time to go. And then my very last thing that I wrote, because of the crowd there, was just that the traffic had to have been a nightmare that night.
It's a nightmare at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 p.m. Atlanta traffic just sucks, period. But yeah, 40,000 people leaving. Yeah, I'm sure I didn't get home until 3 or 4 in the morning, probably.
And it's not like anyone left early. Everyone stayed for that main event.
Oh, yeah, you had to. Yeah. What you got, AJ?
So I agree with what Primo said, that Goldberg is a legend, but he's not even close to what Shimani was calling him. Also, so we were watching this for the first time in my friend's basement, and my friend Nick, and his brother is a little older than us. And he was so into it that when Goldberg got Hulk up for the jackhammer, he picked up the recliner that he was sitting in. And this is a fairly large size recliner. Like, it wasn't a lazy boy with all like the mechanisms and stuff, but he picked it up and jackhammered the recliner, and the whole entire thing, it basically exploded. His mom came downstairs. We all got in trouble.
Totally worth it.
It was fantastic. So the match itself, meh, it was fine. But the match could have been the worst match ever, and it still would have been unfreaking believable. It still would have, the crowd still would have been so hot for it, so loud. Goldberg kicking out of the leg drop. I have it right here. There are a few people who have kicked out of the leg drop before. Most recently, it was Sting kicked out of the leg drop that very same year.
Most recently.
Yeah, most recently, it was Sting. Like the same year.
Right, yeah. Nice.
Who else did we had? Roddy Piper, Lex Luger, Vader, Great Muta, Yokozuna, Sid Justice, Tenryu.
It's quite the list.
Oh, it's Jacques Rougeau is on this list.
Who would have thought that you would kick out of a leg drop?
It's a leg drop.
Exactly.
Jacques Rougeau. That's funny.
Right,
they picked him up after hitting the leg drop, and Jacques Rougeau got
drop.
Let's put a bow on this thing, boys. It's time to rate it on the old mark scale. How many marks are we going to give this thing? Dylan, kick us off, brother. All right, let's go on to AJ. AJ, how many marks you got, brother?
I am going to go with a 4 marks out of this, mainly because I didn't like Karl. I almost said Karl Marx. That's not who.
No, that would be way off.
Yeah, it'd be impressive. Karl Malone, I didn't like Karl Malone's involvement. I thought he was kind of awkward looking out there, although his diamond cutter was pretty smooth. It was just the typical WCW like shenanigans that happen at every match bothered me a lot. Like they didn't bother me when I was a kid, obviously, because I fucking loved it. But this time around, it bothered me a lot. So that's why I scored so low. But the finish is still fantastic. It's Goldberg going over Hulk Hogan. Fuck yeah.
Primo.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10 smelly marks, Primo on this day is going to give this match 5 out of 10 marks because I'm like indifferent on it. I'm not saying I hated it. I'm also not saying I loved it. It's definitely, like I said earlier, a match that is part of wrestling history. Everybody remembers it. You know, it was one of WCW's biggest moments in the late 90s. Also, like, part of my childhood, part of you guys' I don't know, 40s. And then, but no, for real though, I think I'm not judging it based on a wrestling match, because if I was, it'd be lower. But I would say historically, I'll give it a 5, just because of he beat Hogan, and it was cool because at the time, you know, NWO was NWO. I'm putting myself in that time frame, not right now. So thinking of how I would have thought about it as 9-year-old Primo, not Hollywood Primo today. I would have, I loved it because I thought Goldberg was cool. I thought Hollywood Hogan was cool. I thought everybody was cool. And I probably marked out when Goldberg won, just like everybody else.
Dylan, what was your rate?
If you go just bell to bell the match, like Primo said, it's not high, maybe a 3 or 4. But when you include everything, the entrances, the commentary, the crowd, I'd go about it. I really like this match, like the presentation. Like I said, I was only 3 at the time, so I wasn't watching live every week, but I was watching wrestling at that point. Goldberg and Sting and Hogan were my 3 guys. So this is 2 of the 3 in the main event for the belt. I love it. I'm a Nitro guy. I still love watching Nitro. I'd rather watch Nitro than most TV wrestling today. So overall, I'd go 7 marks.
I'm going to 7 as well, just because I was there. We knew what was coming. We just didn't know like how they were going to set it up. We knew it was going to be short and quick. Yeah, I mean, nothing spectacular about it, but yeah, it goes down in history. I was there, so I'm gonna go with the 7. If I wasn't there, I'd probably put it about a 5 or 6.
I think the crowd made this.
Yeah, for sure.
Without the crowd, I would have given it a 2.
I had to get a lot of people here. So
also, I just want to go back a little bit. 2 things. I did watch the Booker T match. Booker T with the win with the scissor kick through the ropes. Mm-hmm. That was cool. Booker T is one of my favorite WCW guys of all time. But also, they went to the, at one point, they were interviewing fans on the outside of the arena as they were coming in for the event. And this one dude from Atlanta was like so hyped. He could barely talk straight.
All right. That's going to do it for the Dropkick discussion of the week. That is going to do it also for our April month of WCW matches. Next month, we're going to be covering famous women's matches. And looking forward to that. We're going to be kicking off with Charlotte versus Natalya. This was the match that kind of jump-started Charlotte's career here in 2014 at NXT TakeOver. So going to be a big month in May watching a lot of famous women's matches. So, all right, Primo, that's going to do it, man. Let's get that game show music involved here. It's time to play Squared Circle Questions. All right, boys, you know the game. Square Circle Questions. Today's categories, we always do wrestler, pay-per-view, and potpourri. Well, today we're going to do wrestler and potpourri, but for the pay-per-view, I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to be doing a segment called Last Man Standing. So whenever we get to that, I will explain it to you. But first of all, let me tell you guys, go ahead and get a pen and piece of paper here shortly for coming up here. And we have the possibility of 7 points today is how many is available here. So if you sweep the board, 7 points is how many you're going to end up with. So categories are wrestler, the last man standing category, and potpourri. And for potpourri, I have 4 questions for you today. So
good God.
It's going to be awesome here. We'll wait on Primo to be ready here. So 7 possible points. We're going to start out first with wrestler as usual.
I always lose. I don't even know why I still play these. Terrible.
Well, we're going to see how Dylan can do here against you boys. So probably Dylan, y'all ready there, buddy?
I'm ready to go. Yes, sir.
All right, if you guys are ready, we're going to start out here. This is just going to, this is verbal answer only for 1 point. We're going to start out with wrestler. All right, let's start out with the facts here. Here we go. Born April 2nd, 1983 in Los Angeles, California. Built at 208 pounds, 5'10". He was trained by the Revolution Pro Dojos, and he was a former member of Ring of Honor, TNA, and PWG.
Christopher Daniels.
Incorrect. You're out. All right. His TNA name was Mason Andrews. He has been known to say, "This is the worst town I have ever been in." He was the... I'm sorry? Who'd you say, Dylan?
Kaz.
Incorrect. He was the AEW champion with Frankie Kazarian, AJ. And he is currently your TNT champion.
Josh Alexander. Go ahead and hit the thing.
Wrong.
Can I answer again?
The answer is Scorpio Sky.
That's what I was going to say.
I was thinking Impact. I don't know why I went with Impact.
Like Josh Alexander.
By the way,
terrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
Isn't Sammy the champion again?
Yes, Sammy's the champion.
Okay, well, y'all should have got it before I got there anyway.
I mean, you're right. I was on the right track, damn it. Me and Dylan both were.
You was.
I don't know why I heard you say...
We said 2 members of SCU.
Yep.
You said TNT, and I immediately thought fucking Impact for some. I have no idea why. I don't know.
All right, let's move on, man. All right. Next category is called Last Man Standing. All right, boys. So how this one is going to work, I'm going to ask all the competitors to be honest and no Googling.
Okay.
I'm going to name a pay-per-view or a certain match. You guys' job is going to be to name a wrestler that participated on that certain pay-per-view or match. You have 5 seconds to answer. Incorrect answer, and you are eliminated.
So are we going around the table?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
The order I've drawn is Dylan, Primo, and AJ. This was called Last Man Standing. The only thing you guys have to do, you guys have to sit back with your hands crossed. So I know that you're not going to Google anything.
Oh, so we're verbally doing it. Okay.
You're verbally doing it. Yep, verbally doing it. AJ, hands crossed, please. There we go. All right. Okay, boys, your match today is the 2022 Royal Rumble. You guys are going to name participants. First one to name somebody not in the Rumble is out. Last man standing wins. So there was 30 participants in the men's pay-per-view in St. Louis in 2022. We all were there together. You're going to name participants in the Royal Rumble. All right, Dylan, get us started, man. Who's the first one?
You said men's, right?
Men's, yep.
Yeah, Austin Theory.
That is correct. Primo.
AJ Styles.
Correct. AJ.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Correct. Y'all just named the first three that came out.
All
right. Dylan.
Brock Lesnar.
Primo.
Randy Orton.
Correct. AJ.
Shane O'Mac.
Y'all just named the last three that came out. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Dylan, get us started with the middle three that came out.
Omos.
This is correct. He came out 11th. Primo.
Madcap Moss.
Madcap Moss, correct. Came out 19th. AJ.
Kofi Kingston.
Kofi Kingston, correct. Came out 24th. Dylan.
Big E.
Correct. Came out 26th. Primo.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, correct. Came out 21st. AJ.
Sheamus.
Correct. Came out 17th. Dylan.
Sami Zayn.
Correct. Came out 8th. Primo.
Dominic Mysterio.
Came out 14th. Correct. AJ.
Bad Bunny.
Oh, fuck you.
Came out 27th. Correct. Dylan.
Rey Mysterio.
Came out 23rd. Correct. Primo.
Happy Corbin.
Came out 15th. Correct. AJ.
Johnny Knoxville.
Came out Dylan. If we get all the way through it, everybody gets a point, by the way.
We're not going to get all the way through it.
How many we got left?
Did anybody see Kevin Owens yet?
Kevin Owens came out 22nd. Correct. Primo.
Riddle.
Riddle came out 20th. Correct. AJ.
But hit the buzzer. I can't think of fucking anyone. Shit. Fuck.
All right. AJ is eliminated. Dylan.
Damian Priest.
Correct. Came out 7th. Primo.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, fuck. We already named him.
Yep. Dylan's going to take the point. Robert Roode, Ridge Holland, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, and Rick Boom.
I have zero recollection of Ricochet being in that match. Absolutely
not. He was towards the beginning, I think, right?
He was.
Everyone else you just mentioned, I remember them coming in and being in Ricochet. Not a clue.
So this is going to be a game
that was really fun. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Good work, Dylan.
So use Royal Rumble or pay-per-views, that kind of stuff. So Dylan takes the lead here. So he gets 4 points. He gets 1 point. I have 4 potpourri questions for you. 3 of them are worth 1 point, and the last one is worth 2. So get out your pens and papers here, guys. We'll give you 5 seconds to answer. First question worth 1 point. What year was WrestleMania held in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome when The Miz won the WWE Championship? What year? 5 seconds. Reveal. 5 seconds. Let's go. What does yours say, Primo?
It says 2010.
The answer is 2011. Dylan gets it right.
Fucking damn it, Dylan.
So he gets the point.
I'm Dylan. I'm going to come and steal all the points.
All right, next up for 1 point, guys. We all know where it was held, but what was the actual city where the first Nitro was held? Don't give me the city that it was closest to. Give me the actual city that it was held at. 5 seconds. Reveal when you're ready. Okay, everybody up. AJ says Panama Beach. Dylan Primo says Jacksonville. Dylan says Minnesota. Somewhat correct.
It says Minneapolis.
The answer is actually Bloomington.
Way off.
Minnesota, which is close to Minneapolis, the Mall of America. So,
oh fuck, I knew that.
I know. Like right after you got.
All right, if any of you guys get this, this one's verbal. I'm gonna be super pumped up and excited and impressed too.
I am bombing today.
Here we go.
I always bomb. So,
what is Diamond Dallas Page's real name?
Page
what?
Paige Falkenberg.
Oh wow! In middle name?
Dallas.
Diamond. I don't know.
Diamond.
Paige Joseph Falkenberg is the name. So I'm going to go ahead and give Dylan one for that one too. So it looks like Dylan's going to win today. But for shits and giggles, the last question I had for you for 2 points. How many episodes total did Monday Night Nitro have? From beginning to end, how many total did they have? Any guesses? Throw it out there.
210.
Close.
240.
Higher. Dylan.
Dylan's going to know the exact number.
He's going to be 273.
According to the internets, it is 288 episodes.
Oh.
Is what they ended up with. So, with a possible 3 points to 0, Dylan, our guest, wins Square Circle questions today.
Yay!
Sir.
That was pretty impressive. Paige
nice.
Falkenberg. That was nice.
Yes, it was nice. There, you get your congratulatory soundbite there, Dylan. All right, Dylan, that will move us right into your segment here, man. We brought you on today. You've been writing a indie wrestling blog here for a little while about all the shows that are going on this weekend, predictions. You're a big indie road tripper, like we are as well. So talk to us about that blog, man, and tell us all about how it came about.
Yeah, I started writing this one back about January or so. Just to get the name out there, it is Dylan Hager Wrestling. Very simple. You can find that at Hager, Hager, sports.wordpress.com. What I do is I mainly focus on independent wrestling. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. One person can cover every single wrestling event that happens every weekend. There's too many. So sure. I focus on mainly the big ones, mainly ones you can find on Fight, WTV, or High Spots, something that you can watch even if you're not local to that area. I'll go through, I'll list out all of the announced matches and kind of highlight usually 3 or 4 really in the like I said, mainly focusing on the indie stuff. I do try to get Impact, their pay-per-views, their Impact. I tried to get a preview, and if I can watch it either live or soon thereafter, maybe a review up as well. The Rebellion pay-per-view this past weekend, I was able to get a preview and a review both up. Like I said, that is dhager.wordpress.com. Little easier way is to go like my Facebook page at Dylan Hager Wrestling. I post all of the blogs to my Facebook page, and I post a bunch of pictures from the shows I go to. And then you can also follow on Twitter at dhager, DHERJ15, and I have our wrestling takes up there as well.
Yeah, man, I've I always want to cover all the indie events out there, and I always try to get some on the pod when I can and get them some shout outs and stuff. But there's so many going on, that it's hard to try to pick which one. So yeah, you're doing a great job, man. I've been checking out the pod, or checking out the blog. to help out with my pod, actually, to see kind of like what's going on, the weekend and stuff like that. So, you're a big indie road tripper. You go to a lot of St. Louis shows, CCW that we just talked about. We're going to be down in Cape Girardeau. Is one of the closer promotions to you. So what do you think has been like? I mean, we know why we, go to these, we drive to go to these shows, for the love of wrestling, and we love it. There's nothing like it. Kind of just gets in your blood, but what do you think was, that one thing that really that hooked you into independent wrestling? You know what I mean? Because, a lot of people, they think like independent wrestling is grimy and, not like it's not like the big leagues and, that kind of stuff. And, and independent wrestling, I think over the last just like 5 years has come a long way, because a lot of the people that we see on TV and stuff now have all been on the indies, and we all been watching them, paying to see them wrestle for years, So what do you think was like the one time that just hooked you?
Part of it is exactly what you just said, in that it's not the big time TV wrestling. It's not overproduced with a million camera cuts and everything being just nice and perfect. I love being able to get a more up close experience during the shows. Like in Anarchy, there's no guardrails. The wrestling is right in your lap, and if you don't move, it's literally going to be in your lap. Being able to talk to and interact with the wrestlers at their merch stands. They're not just these bigger than life people you see on TV. You can kind of get to know the person a little bit, see them at molos, get to talk to them, and the atmosphere, the other fans that are there. You become friends with all of, or most of them as well. One of my buddies says indie shows is like a family reunion. You show up and you see all these people that you may or may not know from Twitter, but you meet for the first time, and you get to talk to them, sit with them, get to enjoy their company for a little bit. And that's what hooked me, the atmosphere and having other people to enjoy the show.
Yeah, and plus it doesn't hurt that we live in the Midwest where, we may be biased, like is some of the hottest independent wrestling.
Yeah.
When I left North Carolina to move up here, the very first thing I was excited about moving to Illinois is being in a big hotbed independent Chicago wrestling territory, where just wrestling is going to be going on all the time. And I'm just super excited about that, man. But, and to be able to go to a lot of wrestling where a lot of shows are going on, where you can drive to, every weekend. So, yeah, man, it's an experience like no other. You're doing a hell of a job with this blog, man. Keep up the good work, dude. And for anybody out there that hadn't checked it out yet, man, if you're just looking for the big shows that are going on this weekend, and like you said, he tries to cover some bigger companies too, this is the blog to get it all at. So good job there, Dylan, man. Keep it up, man. And I know I'm going to keep reading it. All right, guys, let's go to these MMA picks here. AJ, let's see how you did here, brother. You were going 44-42 coming into this week, yeah? So you took Jessica Andrade in the main event. Did she win? Hey! Look at you, 45-42 now.
45? I'm 3 games above 500 now. Look at me fucking go. I am a goddamn MMA genius.
You are. You're the Lanny Poffo of MMA picks.
You've come a long way.
Lanny.
All right, so we got a main event this week. We got some bantamweights fighting here, AJ, for you. We got the number 5, Rob Font, who is 19-5, a USA fighter, 5'8", 71.5 reach. He is fighting Cheeto, number 8 ranked Marlon Vera, 18-7-1. He is a Ecuador fighter, 5'8", 70.5 reach. Who are you thinking here, man? You want to go with the number 5, Rob Font, or are you thinking number 8, Marlon Vera?
Wait, Rob Font, like past tense of fight?
No, Font, like the writing style.
Like the writing? Oh, well then, not him. The other guy. Vera.
You're an English major.
I thought it was Font, and then I got excited because I was like, oh, he's built for it. But no.
All right, Primo, time for your pick of the week. You were 10-7 going into last week. You picked the younger fighter against Clay Guida. Let's see if you were able to help out the gamblers last week. Hey! Dramatic pause.
Submission in round 1, in fact.
Yes, it was. 11-7 now. Primo, look at this card, man. Andrei Arlovsky's on this card.
That's actually the one I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of Andrei.
He's
a bad dude. I like watching him fight. I mean, look at his record. 33-20 with 2 no contests. That's a lot of fights. That's 53 professional fights there.
Yeah. Dylan, you're a lot.
He's facing against Jake Collier at 13-6. Jake has the 1.5-inch reach advantage. Arlovsky has the weight advantage, though they're the same height. Arlovsky has the age. If I was going off of my criteria from last week, I would choose Jake.
Making you think about it, huh?
Yeah.
You got the gamblers on their toes. Who you going with?
I am once again going to choose the younger fighter in Jake Collier.
All right.
Although I do wish the best for Andrei Arlovsky. He's just been in the game a long time.
There you go.
That's a lot of MMA fights.
Dylan, you're an MMA guy, right? You watch UFC, yeah?
Yes. Yeah. Watching this event is going to be awesome. Both of these fighters are great. I'm probably leaning Font. And the Andrei Arlovsky fight was the other one I had an eye on this week. Arlovsky has had a great career, and he's hit these highs and then fell on these lows and then came back up on these highs so many times. I'm going to pick him this week just because I'm not high on Collier. Arlovsky's chin has already gone like 5 times before, and this could easily be the next time it goes.
And
it could be a knockout for Collier, but yeah.
It's kind of like freaking Alistair Overeem now. He you touch his chin, he's out.
You guys know a lot about MMA.
Yeah.
So maybe I should start watching. 45 and 42. AJ, man, it's time to close the show, brother. Remind everybody how they can see us each and every week, dude.
You can see us right here. Where you're moving on. No, you can catch us on YouTube starting around 7 o'clock. Well, we started at 7 o'clock tonight. That was my fault. My bad. But yeah, every week we are right here on YouTube. You can also catch us on all those silly podcast places. They're not silly. I don't know why I said silly. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Tube, all the things. Where we can get podcasts, you can get us.
And then Tube.
Yes. It's a great place for podcasts. We also have merch. Go buy our merch. That place where we sell said merch is tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. And we have all kinds of things. T-shirts, baby clothes,
35% off right now.
Baby clothes.
And they're on sale. So go get yourself some merch. That website again is tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks.
All right, Primo, give us the preview of next week, my friend.
All right, friends. Marks, come on in close. Listen to your friend Primo. I'm going to give you the preview of next week. Next week is a new month, so guess what? It's time to switch up that Dropkick Discussion of the month. Excuse me, Dropkick Discussion of the week. And in May, we are giving some love to the ladies.
Hello, ladies.
That's right. In May, we will review famous women's matches, and we will kick it off by reviewing the match that jump-started Charlotte Flair's career. A match versus Natalya from NXT TakeOver 2014. That's two of Dirty's favorites. Also, we will make our predictions from WWE WrestleMania Backlash, and we will talk about the big outdoor show from Iron Spirit Pro next weekend in Bloomington, Illinois, as DB and AJ will be at that show as well. Fun stuff on the way. It's going to be a great summer here at the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Bang, 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 bang. Nice. All right. Any last notes here? Remember, this Saturday I'm going to be down at High Voltage Wrestling in Hinckley, Illinois, giving away that free merch, checking out a great show. We just announced that we're coming down to CCW down Dylan's neck of the woods.
Yeah.
On May the 28th. So excited about that. And Dylan, thanks for being on the pod here, brother. Glad to have you here for the first time. And I'm sure we'll see you here pretty soon, man. But hey, looking forward to coming down your way in May, dude. You can take me to all the nice spots and stuff down there, all the nice fancy restaurants you got down there in Cape Girardeau.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on. We'll be sure to hit up the very fancy Applebee's or maybe the fancy Culver's or something like that. We'll treat you to a good time.
And Butterburgers.
Hey, I love me a Butterburger.
Yeah, I do too. Good stuff, man. Good to see you, brother. And yeah, we'll be talking to you soon, man. Go check out Dylan's blog that we just talked about here just a little bit ago. And you guys got anything else? Primo, AJ, good to see you, brothers. Of course, shout out to everybody at Zowa once again. Yes. You had a great weekend out there, and we'll be seeing all those guys here soon. And hey, man, let's take it home, boys.
Grab them cards.
I'm going to get some underwear that says thump